On today's show, we try a new skincare routine, do a low-impact workout, and
what are you going to add those spices to?
recreate the taste of a deli at home.
Oh my.
Plus,
Sweep the leg. You have a problem with that?
get a sneak peek of the new season of Cobra Kai.
It's really big. It's bigger than any other season we've had.
But first, learn how to make an ethical will. It's your life, it's your list, and it starts right now.
Hey everyone, I'm Jimmy Rhodes.
And I'm Christina Guerrero. What if we told you there was a different way to think about life that could give it a lot more depth and significance?
Well, the author of a new book, For You When I Am Gone, says you can do it. And it will help you leave a lasting legacy. And it's all about learning to live our truth.
Ooh, fascinating. We talked with them about how to reflect on our lives to turn them into something meaningful. And that's our featured story at the top of the list.
Our lives are filled with so many moments that define us, but we may not always like that definition.
This is what I say I believe in. This is what I say my truth is. Am I living it? Or am I mostly pretending?
We all are, after all, only human.
Steve Leder has spent the past 35 years as a rabbi helping countless people mourn their loved ones.
So I honed over these 35 years questions to help the truth of a person's life unfold.
He came up with 12 essential questions to help tell your story and create an ethical will in his new book, For You When I Am Gone.
So in telling that story and answering truthfully, hopefully, we can begin to align our life with our most cherished ideals.
But first, what is an ethical will and why should you have one?
Let's talk about what an ethical will is not. It is not the same thing as a last will and testament. For most people, the last word they hear from their loved one who has died is in the form of a boilerplate, legalese, dry document written by someone who barely knew them, and it's entirely about who gets what and how much and when.
Instead of the material things that don't offer comfort or support, Steve says to shift focus onto something that will.
What will is their story, their truths, what they really believed in, how they sought to live, what they learned from failure, what they understand love to be, what they regret, what they hope for you, how they want to be remembered.
This is what leads to the questions you'll ask yourself in telling your story.
The first question in the book is, when you look at your life, what do you regret?
The question requires a lot of vulnerability.
But it is also a very clear indicator that regret is actually instructive, not about the past, but about the future.
And the most surprising part?
What most people regret most is not something they did. It's something they didn't do. The time they didn't show up, the words they didn't speak, the path they didn't walk. And recognizing that really can change your future.
And don't think this is a one-time conversation.
An ethical will, like each of us, is ideally a work in process and a work in progress.
But the most important part, the time to start, is right now.
Don't wait. When is it too soon to share your truth with the people you love? Never. When is it too late? Never.
Because remember, your regrets are what you didn't do.
You know, I didn't know that my last conversation with my dad was my last conversation with my dad. I had no idea. And you really never know, so don't wait.
A new way to think about life is at the top of the list.
It's an embarrassment of riches for a gardener. After months of waiting for those veggies to come in, suddenly you're awash in cucumbers and probably a mountain of zucchini. Well, we've got a healthy, economical, and super tasty way to save them for the future. We're bringing the brine with pickling tips to tickle even the pickiest palates.
We've all heard of pickling vegetables, but when it comes to actually doing it yourself, you might need a little help.
Besides eating it on its own, you're actually elevating the food itself because it's enlightened flavor.
Steve Zimmerman, executive chef at Merkin Vineyard Scottsdale, is teaching us how to pickle our veggies. First, prepare the vegetables. We're starting by slicing our cucumbers.
This is where you can use your creativity. You can add all types of stuff. I use leeks here. You can use onions. You can do all types of different vegetables.
Then add to a colander.
We're going to add salt to this, and we want basically all these to leach out the water that's inside of them.
For best tasting results, use kosher salt.
And you're just kind of sprinkling a coating on it.
Think about like you're seasoning them, and then I'm just basically going to just toss them and let them sit for about 10 minutes.
If you have harder vegetables like carrots, try blanching first, then adding your salt. Next, it's time to build your brine.
Basically, I like to flavor the brine first, so I like to toast a little bit of seasoning.
Add your choice of spices to a dry pan and toast till golden brown.
So what are you going to add those spices to?
So basically, we're going to leave them in this pan, and we're going to build the brine. So the brine itself is, here I have 2 cups of vinegar. Okay. This is a white wine vinegar. Vinegar is real important that you use a quality vinegar. You're looking for 5% acidity.
Add 2 cups of water, 2 tablespoons of salt, and 3 tablespoons of sugar, then simmer.
One more step on this that I want to talk about is coloration. I'm going to add a little bit of turmeric to this one. It's going to make it a little bit more yellowish. Okay. You can use smoked paprika. You can use curry powder. You can use some different spice blends of your own. If you want, basically what I'm looking for is to get more coloration, which will turn these a different color.
Then bring to a boil. Lastly, it's time to jar.
You just pour right on top?
Pour it on top. Now I can strain these spices out, but I kind of like the spices in it. The thing you want to watch is you go about to a 1/2 inch on the top. You don't want to go.
Don't go all the way to the top?
Don't go all the way to it, because again, as you tap this, you want to, if it expands, you don't want to see it blow up on you.
Yeah.
Put the lid on, get it to room temperature, and put it in the refrigerator.
When's it ready to go?
For it to infuse really well, at least 1 day.
At least 1 day?
1 day, and then tomorrow this will be ready to be used. And then this will hold probably 7 to 10 days.
Add your pickled veggies to your own dishes or head to listtv.com for more pickling recipes and some of Chef Steve's favorites.
Red wine vinegar, okay.
Brine on it.
Oh my. You can taste the brine in it for sure.
We're giving you tips for pickling your vegetables.
You know, one of the best parts of summer, the exercise you get from splashing around in a pool doesn't really feel nearly as exercisey as the stuff you do in a gym. So Jackie Danker is diving in with some killer indoor pool workouts.
Grab your swimsuit, because we are jumping in to learn some water aerobics.
Why should we work out in the pool rather than on the ground?
First of all, if you have any restrictions or limitations, knee pain, back pain, the water takes away a lot of that impact. You get to have space and freedom to move around. You're in the water.
Yeah, you can't get better than that.
To show us how to do a full body workout in the water, we turned to group fitness instructor for Lifetime Fitness, Andy Bombard. We're starting off with jumping jacks for some cardio.
So instead of a normal jack and bringing the arms all the way up overhead, you only have to come up halfway.
Okay.
Yep, because the water is creating that resistance. For an easy jack,
you can just step it out, one leg at a time.
And to take it up a notch,
we start adding in the actual jack.
This is fun!
From there, if you want, you can add in a little squat. It works the insides of your thighs really great.
This is way more fun than going inside a gym.
She suggests doing about 45 seconds to a minute 3 times for all of these exercises. Moving on to lunges.
Gotta get those legs. Can't skip leg day.
I know, you can never skip leg day.
We're gonna do lunges in all directions, because again, that water is providing that resistance for us. And we could start with just a regular forward lunge, alternating legs.
And for some extra cardio, a lunge jump.
Cardio, legs, you should feel your quads right now.
I feel everything. Woo, baby.
And then you get to break and cool off in between.
Yeah, that's right. See ya.
Next up, a reverse fly.
Normally, if you do a reverse fly in the gym with just dumbbells, you're working the back of your shoulders. But because we're in the water, that resistance goes both directions. You also get to work your chest. It's a twofer.
Double whammy.
Yes.
Grab some aquatic dumbbells.
Look at these things. This is like Popeye's dumbbell.
Right, you feel really strong when you just have these going. So a reverse fly, all you do is you just hinge forward a little bit at your hips.
Okay.
You're going to pull back, squeezing those shoulder blades together. And when you come back, it's like you're giving the water a hug.
Oh, I love that. This is way harder than it looks.
Absolutely.
So 45 seconds of this?
Oh, yeah.
And then we'll just be jacked?
Pretty much.
Finally, we are busting out bicep curls and tricep extensions.
Sun's out, guns out.
Oh, that's right, baby.
So using those aquatic dumbbells,
We're just gonna keep those elbows like they're pinned to our sides. Bring the dumbbells up to the shoulders. There's your bicep curl. When you come back down, now you're doing a tricep extension.
Look at that.
There's your twofer.
taking our fitness to new depths with water aerobics.
Still to come on the list, use electricity to keep your skin smooth.
It's melting the collagen fiber, creating an immediate tightening effect.
Plus,
You're such a good girl.
meet the service dogs who help veterans.
We rescue the dog, and the dog rescues the warrior.
And
sometimes a step backwards opens a new path forward.
we sit down with Sensei John Kreese.
I wanted the character to have a lot more texture.
All that and more next.
YouTubers, I know you're right in the middle of watching. Isn't this such a good episode? But I wanted to remind you to hit subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss 1 minute of the list. Okay, back to the show. Go on.
Welcome back. And you know, KG, something I've been treating myself to a little bit lately. Once a month, I get a facial. Got to keep the mug in shape.
I love that. Well, it shows you look good, Jimmy. It's especially important during the summer months when the sun can really dry you out.
And while moisturizing can help, you may want to go one better.
That's right. We have facials to help keep your skin soft and supple all season long.
Taking care of your skin may be more difficult in the summer.
When the sun hits your skin, it's activating the melanin, it's activating all kinds of oils. You're slathering on sunblock also, so you're just plugging everything up. So we want to just get that cleaned up.
We're learning about 3 facials to keep your skin clean with licensed cosmetologist and esthetician Diana Rieger. Starting off with a hydrating facial, the hydrodermabrasion.
It's great for exfoliation. It literally puts solutions down into your skin, a vitamin C solution, and uses a special tip to exfoliate the skin and smooth it out, refining your pores and fine lines. So it pushes that solution down onto the skin and uses the suction to pull up the dead skin layers and the solution back into the machine. It just really hydrates and smooths the skin.
Wow, so it can really kind of cover a lot of different skin issues that you might be having.
It's very customizable.
It's recommended to get a hydrodermabrasion facial once a month for best results. Next up, to help improve blood circulation and add oxygen to the skin, the Oxygenio 3-in-1 Super Facial.
I apply the gel to the skin, and the gel has retinols, peptides, vitamin C, good stuff like that in it. And again, it's customizable. And then it has a special pod, and the pod is mostly sodium bicarbonate. It reacts with the gel on the skin, creating bubbles on the skin. And so your skin actually sees those bubbles, pumps blood to your skin via your blood supply, and so it really super oxygenates your skin. You're going to see plumping, but you're also going to see lifting and contouring of the face. It really helps to stimulate the collagen and just lift in the skin.
And our last facial to tighten and energize your skin, the radio frequency skin tightening facial.
It uses currents to actually melt the collagen wall. So it's melting the collagen fiber, creating an immediate tightening effect. And it also uses pulsed electromagnetic frequencies to stimulate blood flow so that your skin actually has better circulation and helps repair broken capillaries. We use a specialized handpiece, and it's just like a hot stone massage for your face and neck. We do a nice deep cleanse and a mask afterwards.
We're giving you 3 facials to keep your skin hydrated and bright for the summer.
9/11 is this Sunday, and after that tragic event 21 years ago, over 180,000 people enlisted in the military. That's the biggest surge since Pearl Harbor. And since then, many of those soldiers have become veterans who need our support. So Teresa Strasser is here to share 3 of the highest rated nonprofits helping our vets. Hey, Teresa.
Thank you. These outstanding nonprofits for veterans all have the Give with Confidence designation from Charity Navigator. Coming in at number 1, Higher Ground.
We are a nationwide organization using therapeutic recreation and adaptive sports with veterans with disabilities.
They provide a variety of free activities like fishing, cycling, skiing, and much more.
So I think that's why it's so important that we utilize staff who have been in the military so they can feel comfortable bonding bonding and opening up.
And veterans say their programs really make a difference.
Feeling that support and that brotherhood, and that's touches my heart.
You can show them support at highergroundusa.org. At number 2, Canines for Warriors, the nation's largest provider of service dogs to military veterans.
90% of the dogs from Canines are rescues. You're such a good girl.
For over 10 years, they've been rescuing dogs from shelters and training them to be pals to vets with PTSD and traumatic brain injuries.
We ultimately save 2 lives. We rescue the dog, and the dog rescues the warrior.
The program here, it's a lifesaver. They basically give you your life back.
And each dog is trained for 6 to 8 months before being given to a vet at no cost.
This guy here, I just can't even begin to explain how my life has changed.
You can throw them a few bones over at caninesforwarriors.org. And third on our list of nonprofits for veterans, Hope for the Warriors.
Hope for the Warriors has given me a restored sense of faith in humanity.
They help veterans transition back into civilian life, offering financial support, fun activities, and job opportunities.
Hope for the Warriors, the mission is they restore self, family, and hope to post 9/11 families.
And they even have a program that grants wishes to vets who apply.
His wish was to get a trophy, which is a piece that hooks to the back of the tractor.
You can support their cause at hopeforthewarriors.org. And those were 3 highly rated nonprofits helping military vets thrive beyond their service. Lots more to come on the list. Stay with us.
We're back. All right, on today's watch list, Karate Kid debuted in theaters almost 40 years ago, and the franchise is still going strong with Season 5 of its spin-off Cobra Kai kicking off Friday on Netflix. So Hattie DeJamal's talking about it with Martin Kove, who plays the iconic Sensei John Kreese.
Sweep the leg. You have a problem with that?
It's been about 38 years since Martin Kove spoke those iconic words as Sensei John Kreese in The Karate Kid, and his character is still making waves as a big part of the movie's critically acclaimed Netflix spin-off, Cobra Kai.
I founded Cobra Kai. It belongs to me. It always has. And it always will.
We talked with Kove about all things Cobra Kai, starting with what fans can expect from Season 5.
Cobra Kai now has more students than ever before. Come join us.
It's big. It's really big. It's bigger than any other season we've had. Without giving any spoilers and all, there's a massive amount of surprises. Obviously, I'm in jail.
I find that a little kindness goes a long way.
And the kindness in his character is what he likes about the show compared to the movies.
Because I signed on, I said I didn't really want to do Karate Kid 1's character. Karate Kid 1, Karate Kid 2, Karate Kid 3. He was just always negative and tough.
We do not train to be merciful here. Mercy is for the weak.
So he's not just a tough guy. He's more misunderstood than he is, the villain. And I wanted to play him with some vulnerability. If we were going to do this series, I wanted the character to have a lot more texture.
Sometimes a step backwards opens a new path forward.
And that storyline of his is similar for one of his students.
It's Tori. She's terrific. And Tori's character is what John Kreese was, a terrible home life. And I truly admire the development of her character.
Winner!
She sticks with John Kreese. And the whole relationship is just so rich. I mean, she's my favorite student. I would take her into the next dojo if they ever created that.
Those other students, they weren't born fighters like you.
While Tori and so many others practice karate on the show, Martin Kove encourages people in the real world to practice it too.
I just think that karate really helps focus and discipline for everyone. It will affect the rest of your life, being that focused. But the discipline and the focus will draw you right into being ultimately a black belt because it's so rewarding to your personality, to your daily life.
You're about to begin your real training.
Talking Cobra Kai with one of its iconic senseis on the watch list. We'll be right back. Hey
guys, welcome back. It is time for what's last on our list. File this one under Captain Obvious says. Kids are expensive, but does that mean people are going to stop having kids? Well, according to the Business Insider, the child-free life could save you $300,000 per kid.
Wow, I can't imagine life without my kids. Lucy, Frank, love you, but really, $600K in the bank? Forget Lucy, I should have named her Lamborghini.
Yeah, no kidding. Well, your two kiddos have flown the nest. My little birds are still at home, and I don't need a study to tell me they're expensive, but $300,000 per kid? My dudes better get to work.
Actually, if they do chores, can you deduct like housekeeping costs from the total?
Perhaps. They probably have to get better at yard work, maybe bump the pool guy.
Then you'd have a shot. Now, what is affecting the number of courses? Inflation, the high cost of housing, utilities, food, transportation, clothing, healthcare, education, and then they list other kind of miscellaneous expenses, haircuts, sports equipment. They had magazines in there for some reason. Don't know why.
I don't know about magazines. Now, folks, if you don't have sticker shock yet, this estimate only includes expenses until they're 17, so college isn't even included.
Yeah, word to the wise, been there. Fire up the 529 account when they're babies and fill out your FAFSA on time.
You know, I tell my boys they have $1 million smiles. I wonder if I could cash that in.
Cha-ching, now you're thinking. That's what's last on our list. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. YouTube, my favorite video sharing app. You know, let's not talk about Reels. Let's not talk about Vimeo. It's all about you, YouTube. You're my favorite. So leave us a comment down below, hit that subscribe button, and here's the bonus. You'll never miss an episode of the list. In fact, here are some episodes you may have missed. You can catch up. Because, you know, you want to be a teetotaler on this. Wait, teetotaler means you won't watch any of them. You want to be a completist. So watch them all.